Welcome to today's BICG webinar dedicated to OBIEE 11g, Deep Dive on Enterprise Reporting using BI Publisher. My name is Amy Mayer and I am the President and Founder of BI Consulting Group. Those of you on the webinar who have been tuning in to our previous webinars know that there are some significant changes in BI Publisher with the new release of OBIEE 11g. Today, we will do our best to cover those changes during the next 1 hour in our webinar. Before we get started, I'm going to give you a brief introduction to our 11G Task Force presenter, Jorge Anicama. Jorge has been working in all phases of business intelligence and data warehousing for over 10 years. He is a resident expert and guru in a variety of areas, including BI Publisher. He has been working with BI Publisher for roughly 4 years and has several projects under his belt. He has also authored numerous white papers on delivering highly formatted reports. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Jorge Anicama as today's presenter on our webinar.
Hello to everyone. Thanks for the introduction, Amy. Today's agenda is about BI Publisher and the main features in 11G. So we will cover everything that you see on the slides, and at the end we will have a section for questions and answers. About BICG, very briefly, I'd like just to say we are a consulting firm specialized in OBIEE since its creation as an Inquire. We have many implementations of BIEE, and for those of you who would like to know more about us, just visit us in our website. And for the next few minutes, I will be talking about the BI Publisher architecture and how it has changed in the new release. Well, BI Publisher 11G architecture essentially has not changed from the point of view of the components in comparison to 10G. The only thing that I can mention here that has changed is with regards to the repository. I'll cover that in a minute. So first, let's take a look at this slide that explains the logical architecture in a simplified way of how BI Publisher is part of the BIEE installation. On the left-hand side, we have an Internet Explorer, a user that requests to run a report. This request is an HTTP call handled by another Java component of BIEE, which is the BI plugin. The BI plugin obviously goes into additional processes like authorization, authentication, which is done by the BI security piece of the whole installation. And next, and finally, we'll go to the actual BI Publisher application. Let me also say that these components, as they are J2EE applications, they need to run on a Java virtual machine, which is installed in a WebLogic server. So those are the main pieces. Now BI Publisher to run a report will source information first from a repository and then from a data source using JDBC connections or a JNDI connection, which these two components sit on a WebLogic server piece at the JDBC layer. Now, I have highlighted in different colors the BI Publisher and the BIP scheduler, mainly because I just wanted to emphasize that BI Publisher is a J2EE application and the BI Publisher scheduler is a set of metadata tables that will store information about reports that have been executed or will be executed in the future. These metadata tables can be deployed in an Oracle database, DB2, Teradata, Microsoft SQL Server, and for the specifics of these versions, you have to look into the documentation. Now, one thing I would like to point out here is that when you go into the administration page of BA Publisher, you will see more data sources options. They are not supported, all of them. So the ones that are supported as per the documentation and release notes, the only ones supported are Oracle, DB2, Teradata, and Microsoft SQL Server. Now let's go to talk about the BA Publisher repository. The only thing that I have noticed that it has changed is this. In former releases, any user, any company could use or could deploy the BA Publisher repository in a file-based system, and the other option used to be XMLDB schema in a relational database. That is true as the latest versions 10.1341, that is the release 10G. But in the new release, XMLDB schema or repository-based schema is not supported. So for those customers who are currently using the Oracle database to store the BA Publisher repository, and then they will have to go they have to follow special steps to upgrade, and we will talk about it in the following slides. So now the difference is that in addition to a file-based repository, your BA Publisher repository can also be embedded in what is known the BIE catalog. And what does it mean? It means that now we can seamlessly navigate from within objects in BIEE as well as in BA Publisher. So there will be no difference, and we will navigate and find objects in each of these applications. Only in this case the navigation will work seamlessly, and you will not notice the difference. So now that I have explained the logical architecture of how BA Publisher is installed, let me cover and talk about what is a report definition. Well, a report definition basically consists of two things. The first one is the data model, and the data model is nothing more than the way that BA Publisher will generate the data and will source the data. It will connect to transactional databases. It will even connect to the BIE server or an S-based database, or even use XML flat files. Can also grab data from HTTP requests or web services. The second piece of the definition of a report is the template, how we are going to lay out the information on a page. And in previous releases, we had the rich text format way to develop a template, or we could use templates created or developed in PDF format, and also in Excel, in Flash, EDI, or an XSL style sheet. Now in the release 11G, Oracle has added an additional way to develop a template, and the template can be developed right now online using what is known as a template builder. The extension of such file or of such object will be XPT. Well, these two in conjunction will consist of a report definition. Now, this is the only thing that I see that they have enhanced, the possibility to create now a template online through the template builder. Now, you see that once the definition of the report is defined, we can run the report and we can have the several output types. Nothing of this has changed. We can generate our output in PDF, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, HTML, XML, Flash or comma separated value, and deliver that output through all these different channels. This has not changed. Now, the additional change to the template builder is that in former releases, as of, for example, 10G, the user could only query or search for objects like reports. Now in the 11g release, we can not only browse through reports, but we could also query and browse through objects, the data model objects. What does it mean? It means that now the report that the data model can be separated and be used in different reports. It will not be embedded in the report as in previous releases. So we can create a data model first, and then we will create a report based on that data model. And we can reuse that data model in a different report without having to recreate that data model again. Something that we had to do in the release 10G. So that's the other change. All right, now let's try to cover, and while I'm doing this, I will give you some demo. The other main features and enhancements of the BI Publisher Release 11G is, as I said before, the possibility to develop a template online and the new data model. The data template builder will be something that I will cover now, and that is a component that will we use as an addition to the rich text format template development. This new feature is something that you will have online, no additional add-in required, like Java Flash or ActiveX. Is mainly focused for that kind of reports which are not complex. I would say maybe simple reports or medium complex reports for management. They will still produce pixel perfect reports, and the appearance it's like a Microsoft Word, and the report that you see is what you see is what you get.